So for all those, who's watching and viewing, this is Kingdom Spot, real talk, street education, you with me? More power, more love, more unity. Right about now, we're just here trying to give the people out there street wisdom, street understanding. This is street education, you get me, to the realest. So right about now, I've got a couple of the soldiers, the brothers, the family tree here in the house. Yeah, so we've got, you get me, Sheridan in here, part of the family tree, and he's a very versatile man. He can tell you about healthy living in the aspects of nutrition, diet, and also health and fitness, which is very beneficial to the youth of today, very beneficial for the elders, because we've got a lot of elders who are getting slower, not being more active, proactive, and we're just losing the way. You get me? We're not doing certain things what we used to be doing. We're not staying on point. We're not looking after our bodies mentally, physically, and spiritually. You with me? So right about now, we're just trying to give you some understanding now to say, yeah, time to rise up to the thing. So for those who don't know Sheridan, I'm just gonna ask Sheridan to introduce himself, you with me, and shed some more love to the community.
Yes, I'm here at Kingdom Spot with the family tree.
Don't know much.
Definitely. I'm here, obviously, on this health wave, trying to get healthy as healthy as possible, trying to spread all the love to everybody, to show them what is the right angle, what is the right thing to be eating, what is the right things to be doing, not just to look good, to feel good, and mentally as well as physically. So yeah, that's the main thing of life, to me personally anyway, is your health. Cause you can have everything, but if you ain't got your health, if your body gives up on you, basically, you're finishing it. So you need to kind of take care of that to the best of your ability.
Because your body's your vehicle, isn't it? That's how you maneuver and go about your day and your life. So
exactly. It's just like a car engine, basically. Your insides are just like a car engine. If you put the wrong things in it, it's not going to run right.
Yes, sir.
You understand? So you need to everyone needs to kind of wise up to this. Not just because there's gym, you have to go to gym. You don't have to go to the gym. You just have to eat right and put the right things into your body. That's the main thing.
And a man like Dr. Sedi, for those who don't know Dr. Sedi, go and look up Dr. Sedi. Great grandmaster teacher. Again, stop eating processed food. Stop eating McDeath, Ken Fokri, and all them Chinese people what's giving you dog and rat and everything in a one. You with me? Because when we came out of slavery, we only had the slave master's food, what he gave us, and when we was in slavery, we had to make do. The survival of the fittest. So any little scraps or little rubbish food what we got, we had to cook it up and season it up. But the way we do things, we'd always do things with style. So our things became nice. So we started to obviously adapt this into our culture and in our way of life, thinking that it was the way forward, but it wasn't the way forward, because we never had our African food where we was on the motherland, where we ate off the land. So now, like I said, we've got these scraps and we've taken it across the UK, England, or we're taking it to America, or anywhere where the slave master brought us. And now the generations after us are eating these foods, these odd foods, or these foods what are starch and blood, and these are the things what are giving people cancer and certain different diseases of today, because we're not eating our natural food and food what has got natural energy.
Minerals are important, but we haven't had any since we were brought from Africa. Look, there is a mineral among the 102 that was removed from our diet, and we have great need for it today. Everybody in America and in Africa, the Caribbean, South and Central America is anemic. We lack of iron. When you lack of iron, you are vulnerable to all disease. Mineral is the one that determines the quality of life that you live, not protein and vitamins.
Got it.
Minerals. There's 102 minerals.
So basically, on that note, talking about obviously the natural foods and that, and obviously the best foods are obviously anything grown from the sun.
Yes, sir.
I was vegan for 2 years, and I'm not saying that I'm not going to go back to vegan. I've obviously got my vegan food business, online food business, which I'm going to launch back up next year. Food from the sun is the best thing. Refined sugar, worse, starchy foods, all of them things, they're the ones what kind of trigger off cancer, because everybody's got cancer in them. Everyone when they're born, but it just takes off certain things, what you eat, what you put into your body, to trigger that off. Just like with your, for instance, your hair, your skin. Whatever happens to your hair and your skin it comes from what you put into your body. If you put the right things into your body, then your skin's always gonna look nice and shiny. Your hair's gonna always look nice. You understand? So that is probably one of the main things. You have to start eating foods what are grown from the sun. We basically eat to survive. People think that we eat so we can be full. No, we eat so we can for oxygen. That's the only way we can live, for oxygen. So all the foods what we're supposed to be eating are things what are grown from the sun, grown from the ground, and it all produces oxygen so we can survive. So foods what are high in oxygen, high in alkaline, they're the type of foods what everyone's supposed to be eating just to survive and to have a healthier, balanced diet. Not saying that there's people, obviously people eat meat, but meat, like we know, like he said, is from the slave master, it's from cavemen. It's a caveman thing. We are obviously from their era, we are obviously from what they wanted us to do. We had to eat whatever they wanted us to eat. So we didn't have a choice. So that's why we're here now, eating the processed foods or the meats and whatsoever. And obviously we need to kind of go backwards and check where everything comes from, and it all comes from the sun. And like we know, what they say in Africa, your food is your medicine is your food. That's what we have to kind of try to live towards. And it's kind of hard, like I keep saying to people, it's very hard as well, because the foods, obviously all these fruit and veg, we don't know where it's coming from. So it's even harder to say, yeah, I'm going to be a vegan now, I'm going to stop eating meat, I'm going to just go on fruit and veg. But the government know all this, so they're probably going to put something in that to make it so we're still suffering.
But
so,
also on that side, there's sorry to cut you, my brother, because you're right. But at the same time, what we've got a problem of is that back in the day, our elders used to, like it says, grow these natural foods they sold, and then because they come to the UK, some of them back in the day continued that, and there are allotments and whatever. But a lot of the elders have passed on that. So the youth of today are not got their allotments and are not growing their food and that. So it's so easy to go to a local grocery and get tin callaloo, tin okra and tin this, tin ackee, etc. All those things. And when it's got the preservative in it, the liquid form, and it's not good for our bodies anyway. So at the end of the day, if you look at who's creating these foods and like the names and the labels of them, they're not even our people, and they don't even eat the products what's in the tin anyway. So it's like, is this designed to be for us to buy these foods because they know that we like these foods, but really and truly these foods are maybe easy options to get the tin food, but it's killing off the body. You with me?
What do you mean? Yeah, there is such thing as African food, and it isn't rice and beans and carrots, cows, chicken and hogs, lamb or goats. No, it isn't rice and beans. We didn't have that. Those things were brought to us. These are the things that makes us sick. The violation was done over a period of years. The African have been misled. Who do we African people point our fingers to say you are responsible? We don't know, but we know this, that we have been violated.
Definitely.
So we need to stop supporting those things there and get back to our culture way and start harvesting and farming back our natural things. You have certain man out there who want to say that they're ganja farmer or farm this XYZ, but farm your food because it's the same skill. If you got that ability if you got that ability to farm this, that, or the other, farm your natural food.
It's the same process.
Farm your tomatoes. I'm growing up, and my granddad had tomatoes. He had thyme. He had cabbage. He had certain things with onions, everything. You with me? The only man who I see as a young generation man was doing that today. Salutes to my brother, more Lion Soldier again, JR. JR continued those things. So it probably would be good if someone like JR ran a workshop for the people out there who's willing to learn those trades.
But it's a thing as well, because with the youth as well, they're lazy.
Yes.
So it's hard to push that towards them. For instance, if your kids, for instance, like doing, like the times have changed. Like they're not doing the same things what we used to do, or they haven't got the same drive as we had to do things or learn off the elders. So that's another hurdle we've got to get over by trying to push the younger lot, the youth, to see what's the right way to do things, not the process way, not McDonald's, not takeaway and all these Nando's and whatsoever. They're not the way forward. But obviously when we're doing it, because we're like thinking, it's easier to do it, then they're obviously going to follow, because we're not kind of pushing them towards it. But when we do try to push them towards it, it's still kind of hard, because they feel like they're in two worlds, because they're trying to do this, but we're pushing them towards that. So it's not easy, because society, like even in school, even though they say all this, feeding them more veg and fruit and veg and these things whatsoever, but that's just, it seems like it's just temporary. Like they're just doing it just because it sounds good for now. You understand? They know that they're supposed to give people fruit and veg for a long time, but it's like they're pulling back from things. Like even like dairy products, we wasn't supposed to be drinking no milk in school. You understand? Because milk is specifically for a cow, for a baby, not for us, not for your human beings. The only milk what we were supposed to be drinking is from our parents, from our mum when we was born. Apart from that, we're not supposed to be drinking no milk from no cow or no sheep or wherever it comes from.
Each to their own, innit? You get me?
Exactly
Each milk
that.
for their own.
Exactly that. But obviously we're stuck in that time where we're just with the rest of the world. We're just following. We're just doing everything what everyone else does. You understand? So, like I said, health is probably the most important thing. It is the most important thing, because without your health, you're not here no more.
But a lot of those fruits of today, anyway, all veg, like we was going about the tins. You me, salutes that as well, my brother. You get me, killer. You me, family, done it. Yeah, boom. At the end of the day, lots of these fruits haven't got the seedless fruits nowadays anyway. And
seedless, nothing can't grow without a seed.
Yes, sir.
There's no fruit what can grow without a seed. So when you're getting the seedless grapes and all that thing there, that can't be, it's not possible it can be real. Because no fruit or no plant, nothing can grow without a seed. So when you get things without seeds, you have to kind of question it. You don't know how it's being grown.
Man-made,
It has to be
manipulated.
Yeah, definitely. They're trying to speed up the process, because even the sense of things with food and fruit, veg, even meat and them things there, I've never seen this country since I've been alive a drought of these things. How much billions of people in the world? Why is there always a turnover all the time of these fruit and veg and these meats? Why is it there? Is there always like, it's like they're speeding up the process of everything, even with the cows, and like obviously they try to make them bigger by feeding them. I saw a documentary where they feed them certain starchy foods to make them bigger quicker. You understand? To speed up the process of, obviously they want to get them off the obviously to slaughter them or whatever.
But lots of the foods have got steroids and hormones in there, and animal hormones.
That's having an effect on what happens, how we think. That's why a lot of people think like animals, because we're eating animals and
you are what you eat kind of thing.
Exactly that. So it's just like it's just a cycle, innit? And like we said, it's all the caveman. This is all comes from the caveman. It don't come from Africa. It comes from all the caveman. That's how they was killing all them animals and underneath in the rocks and
savages.
All them savages. They don't come from us, but we're just in it, and it's just a cycle of we're just used to doing it. So curry mutton and all these, we're not supposed to be eating these things, but it tastes good, so we will carry on eating it, and it's just a lot easier to do it.
Facts. You get me? It's true.
So today, we want you to know that we are a member of the organic family, and that because of that understanding or level of understanding, we could put forth the effort to ameliorate much of the ills that beset us. Isn't that beautiful? To come to that level of understanding that we need to change our diet to that which is compatible with our cellular predisposition. The African. I am not saying that the African is better than the Caucasian or that the African is better than the Chinese. When you begin to compare races and groups, then something has to be wrong with you. We are different. I am not a Caucasian. I am not a Chinaman. I am an African.
Yeah. Would you say then, which obviously I know, but let's touch on that. Do you think of the food of today as messed up the way that the use of today, and even obviously I saw we was a part of that too, but how people process certain things,
yeah, I think,
you get me?
definitely.
How people start getting angry, and like you said, you are what you eat. If we look at obviously scientifically what these foods are engineered to do, look at what's going on with the use of today. Then we don't even know what they're putting in our tap water through the sink.
That's the first thing.
So at the same time, we're drinking all these fluoride waters and certain things, mashing up your pineal gland so you can't activate certain things and mashing up certain arteries and boom, bath, boom. This is why would you say the youths of today are behaving so cold?
Definitely, because it's science. The world's built on science, so it has to be. Anything what you put in your body, it's going to react. It's going to come out some way. It doesn't, like, even if it's through, like I said, your skin or your hair, or how you're thinking with your brain, it's going to come out somewhere. You understand? So if you're, for instance, if you're eating a cow what's just been slaughtered and he had a stressful time,
traumatized,
you're going to feel the exact same way. You're not going to know straight, but you're going to these are the effects what it's going to have, but you're not going to know.
Because that affects your DNA.
That burger what I ate yesterday, you're not going to know this. You understand? But if you're eating things from the ground, from the sun, the sun is life. Without sun, there will be no life.
Definitely.
You understand? 100%. So these things what are growing from the ground, that's what we're supposed to be eating. We're not supposed to be eating nothing else. All them cows and beef and whatever, they're not for us. Definitely not.
What we ate was products that are considered native. No starch, no uric acid, no blood. No blood, no starch. Uric acid, blood. Carbonic acid, starch. You see, when we ate electric food. That's all we had in our environment. The organic family only had electric food as part of their diet. So they ate very little and infrequent. It wasn't necessary to eat 3 times a day with plates full of tanya, dashin, cassava, and blood. Not to mention the rice, which is starch, glycerinic acid. No, we didn't have that. The organic family only ate electric food.
You can't just because if your body's so used to obviously eating meats, you can't just stop eating meats like that, car. Your body will just shut down. So you kind of have to just slowly just take your time and kind of probably go to fish, because a lot of people are pescatarians now. Come off the meat, the red meat especially, because that's, even though they say red meat's the worst, chickens is exactly the same. It's not as it's as bad. Even fish, the mercury in it. And all the fish, I saw a documentary as well, all the fish when they swim around in the same, all the salmons and that, some of them have got disease. They don't know which one have got a bacteria in it, but they're all together. So when it's going on the shelves or whatever, we don't know which one's
bad from now.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're all going to be bad because they were swimming with the same ones with bacteria. So no one they don't test all these things. So you kind of have to just slowly take your weight off the meat and the fish. But at the same time, like I said, it's hard with the fruit and veg, because if you're not growing your own, you're going to the shop, you don't know if it's real.
Yeah.
Because personally, even myself, like when I go and buy fruit and veg, it's hard for me to pick fruit and veg because they don't look the same or feel the same how they used to. So it's hard. You understand? It's a hard world. Unless you're doing your own thing, growing your own food, you got your own allotments, you know what you're putting in it, all the food, soil, whatsoever. That's the safest way.
So then add to that then, like I was touching about last time, just before, like most of these like tin foods or these vegetables, etc., they're coming from, like, say, like, I don't want to sound like biased, but we have to keep the thing real. It's coming from the Asian community. Yeah,
well, all the tin things that we buy.
Yeah,
and that's the thing as well. None of them buy it.
So none of them buy it.
We're the only people who's buying it.
Who's buying it?
Yeah.
So if we're buying the poison, why are we supporting those who are poisoning us? Because it doesn't make no sense.
Because it's easier. It tastes good. We're used to doing that. We're
lazy.
Any shop was selling all these tin foods. Tin food full stop. You're not supposed to eat, but we do. You understand? Because it's what we're used to. You understand? So it's a hard habit. It's a hard habit to get out of. It's a very bad habit. You've got to have that drive to want to say, no, forget that. I'm not going. No tin food. Like, I'm growing my own things. I'm watching everything what I'm eating. That's the only way I can say you can do it. But
it's not even just necessarily going back to the tin foods. We got our Jamaican buns, our Ardo bread, our seasoning, and it's all got the same labels on it. Get me, tropical sun or sun this or whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, these are not black-owned companies, so they don't have the best interest for us.
Exactly, as because we're different. Everybody's different. Everybody is different, like a white man and a black man. We're not supposed to be doing the same thing. We're not supposed to be eating the same thing. We're not supposed to be drinking the same thing, because our body reacts different. Even when I was saying the other day, like the way the world, like, we have to be the people of the world, because we don't burn when the sun comes out. We can't burn. It's not possible. So if the world is built from the sun, how can white people be burning? So they can't be the people what's supposed to be on this earth.
They're anti-sun, innit?
Exactly. So, and the sun is life. Like I said before, the sun is life. So you can't take away the sun and expect everyone to be alright. The sun, without the sun, there won't be no life. You understand? So we're not supposed to be eating the same as everybody else. Indian people ain't supposed to be eating what we're eating. White people, we're all different. You understand? Because just like the example I always give, a gorilla don't eat the same as everybody else. He eats whatever he eats. He don't eat no dog food or.
But look how big the gorilla is.
Exactly.
And what does the gorilla eat?
Everything from the ground.
And what about an elephant?
Everything. You don't eat nothing, no meat, nothing.
Go to all the biggest animals.
Exactly.
You with me?
Exactly that. But obviously you got all the tigers and lions. They obviously eat all the meat and whatsoever. But the strongest animals, they eat plant food. They don't eat nothing else apart from plant food, because that's where the energy is.
Why do we get sick? The body was not designed to be sick. Bird doesn't get sick. Elephant doesn't get sick. He needs no vet. The lion doesn't need a vet. Neither is a giraffe or any of the natural animals. Why do we get sick? There has been a violation that is costing us our life today. And it would have been okay if I live happy until I die because of the violation, but that isn't what's happening. Because of the violation, I become stressed. I become extremely stressed until I die. Why do we get sick? What is the violation? The violation comes with creation, the understanding of it, The violation is when we have forgot or dismissed the ecclesiastics when it is said the herbs are for the healing of the nations.
It's true. But then what do we do about these processed foods, what have been pumped out there and engineered to kill off our black people? Because sometimes when you look at it now, we're dealing with, obviously because we're in Nottingham, but also we can deal with many other cities because they've got their own black groceries. But we've got Max on the Ice and Green, and also we've got two Mitchells, one on Atherton Road and one on Ilkeston Road, where they mean well because they're just trying to supply for their people, but at the same time, are you doing well when you may or may not know? But I've had an interview with Colin and he said similar things, so you know. I'm not putting it into it. That's why I said he says things he knows himself. So if you know that these Asian products are killing off your people, then why would you be selling it off to your people? Because a lot of our elders have been supporting these black things for ages. This is why the elders are getting various diseases.
But everything goes back to money at the end of the day. It's business, money. That's all. Everyone's just trying to survive. So even if it's a black-owned shop, doesn't mean that they're trying to do the best for us. They're still, like you said, they're still selling the same packet food, the same products, tin callaloo. My granddad don't eat ackee at all from the tin. The only time he'll eat ackee if he goes to Jamaica.
Yeah, get the tin off the tree.
Exactly, because all these things, even though they're poisonous, ackee's poisonous anyway, but in the tin, it's going to be even worse.
Yeah.
So you can't even, like you said, black-owned shop, Collins, Max, whatever, but you don't know where they're getting their food from the same suppliers as the Indian man. Even though it's a black-owned shop, they might have different things what the Indian man got on the green, but they're still providing the same products from the same shop. You understand? So it's hard, it's very hard, unless you're gonna know, you're not going to none of these shops, you're gonna do your own thing, like I said, build your own greenhouse, do your own thing from your garden to your allotments, get your own soil. You can even make your own soil by mixing certain things like the horse manure or whatever. Because obviously horses, they don't eat animals either. You understand?
I think it is, yeah, for sure. You admit, but at the same time, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are talking the talk, but they're not living and walking the walk. You with me? Because at the same time,
it's easy to carry on and fit in and just carry on doing the same thing. That's the easiest way to do it. Changing up your routine is hard. That's going to be hard for you to do because you have to change everything. You have to change milk, butter, everything. Everything you have to change in your house.
But it doesn't matter because we've got alternatives. We've got coconut milk, almonds.
When it comes to the people's taste buds, because when I first turned vegan, it took me a while for my taste buds to get used to just eating raw, not raw, but like greens, all the greens. It takes you time, and not even just the food, it's the cream, the product, Dove. Like certain creams, I don't use certain creams, toothpaste, certain things we're not supposed to be using. Because like we know what, even if it's not put into your mouth, you put it on your skin, you soak it into your system.
So what would you say that on the scale then, we as men and as males and boys, we don't, the least what we put on our skin is maybe cream or maybe certain things in our baths and showers.
Deodorant,
but then outside of that, female aspects now, they will put on they'll add a lot more things to their body. So what would you say on that to that?
Well, it's just everyone's just keeping up with society. Everyone's just trying to like do the same thing as everybody else. I can't see anyone doing their own thing. You know what I mean? Like all these eyelashes, eyebrows and tattooed eyebrows, all these things, it's having an effect on your body because it's going into your skin. Your skin is connected to your insides, your body's all connected together. So whatever you're putting onto your skin, even if you're not putting it through your mouth, like I said, it's gonna have an effect. So, and like we know, all the shops what these black women are going to, it's the Indian man shop. So he's selling the product, and this is the worst thing, what you don't see an Indian man in none of these shops. Or Indian woman, like you don't see them in their shops buying all these products. We're the only people that buy these products.
For real.
You know what I mean? And there's like we know there's alternatives. You don't have to be putting certain things in your hair. There's women out there what make their own natural things from shea butter, olive oil, not olive oil, coconut oil, or different types of oils, and these are all natural things.
Organic family was never diseased. Why? It was impossible. It was impossible because we live within the arrangement, the procession of life. I'm not an Inca, and there are certain things that are indigenous to the Inca. I am not a Sioux or a Cheyenne. I am not a Toltec. I'm not a Maya. But I am an African. And there is a connection with the family. So, I was compelled to direct my thought patterns, my vision towards the continent. I am an African. And what does that mean? It means that when creation designed the African, there was a food that was designed for that African. And if you believe that this is an untrue, well then, let us take the diet of the African and give it to the man that lives in the ice, the Inuits. No, he was designed to eat whale and fish. We were designed to eat something green.
So these things are obviously people have to be looking at what they're putting on their bodies and in their bodies, because at the same time, this is, like I said, mentally, physically and spiritually mashing up the people's being, their soul, being their who they are. You get me? So this is why when we look at the reflection of what's going on today, of the youths them, and even maybe not even just the youth them as well, because obviously sometimes it's the parents and the elders as well, because obviously everybody's just following suit, innit? You get me? So we're all gone wrong. There's a big aspect of things where we have to check out what we're doing and knowing ourselves, because we've been programmed and engineered just to pick up things, follow things, and we don't think about it, what we're doing. You get me? So it goes back to the youth of today. Like, they don't know why they eat what they eat, because they're not relating it back to slavery. They don't know why, obviously, they even in certain beefs and politics on the streets of today. So in all aspects and avenues, we need to obviously stop and thinking and looking at why am I behaving like this? Because it might even all be the cream or something what they put on that day. You hear me? It might have been, like you said, the food what they ate last night. You hear me? Why they vex or the grumpy now or rare and you just stepped on my toe and now I mean you got a confrontation. You with me? So the youths then may not know certain things, but we as a whole and as a family, we need to start educating ourselves. You get me? Because what it's become now, it's not cool to be wise. It's like it's cool to be dumb. It's cool to be an idiot. It's cool just to follow your brethren or your friends or your family or people what are not doing right, but they're not leading you on the right path.
And it's the thing what Jay Gold said on when he was talking about to do with the respect. Obviously the youths ain't got no respect for a lot of the elders now. They're not on the roads. They're not working. They got a 9 to 5. They're working, so they can't go like he said. They can't go to them and speak to them and say, "Oh, this happened," because they're thinking that they're far away from that type of lifestyle. So they don't respect people at work. A lot of them know. You know what I mean? But one thing I do like with the younger generation is the university thing, because in when we was growing up, university was didn't think of no uni. College was about it. But now a lot of the unis are full of bare black youths, loads of them.
Salute to all the youth and doing positivity, keep up that
so
uni life.
that's definitely one good thing with all the youths that are into this uni life. Like even if it's going there with all their brethren, going there with, but they're still doing it. They're still passing their degree and they're doing whatever they need to do.
But my message is to them, yeah, you do that and you push that because more knowledge is key.
Yeah,
more knowledge is more strength.
Yeah.
More knowledge is more wisdom and understand. But at the same time, don't get caught up in that matrix and world. Don't get your degree. Don't get your qualification just to be emerge and suck into that matrix and be controlled and follow suit of the suppressor. If you're going to go and do a teacher degree, medication, obviously a doctor or medicine or something, bring back your degree back to the people. If you're a lawyer or you're a solicitor or you're a barrister or whatever, come back and help back the people because right about now we haven't got a lot of people in those fields. So it's good that you said a lot of black people, male, female, are going uni of today. Good. I love when I see young black girls or young black boys doing well. You have to love that. You know, because we come from the gutter and they expect us not to have nothing. You get me? So it's only right that we do rise up, but at the same time we can't rise up and forget where we come from because we've got a lot of black people today in successful positions and they're not doing nothing to help back the people or the cause.
Forget about them straight off. Just go into their system and start doing the same thing for the white men. And they've got their degree or whatever, so they're not really, like you said, they're not giving back. They're not trying to bring them through and say, yeah, this is what you need to do, and we can kind of build our own little thing. You understand?
Because like I said to Jay Gold, if you're not a part of the solution, then you're a part of the problem.
Definitely.
So at the end of the day, like you said, obviously, like you said, what Jay Gold was right, what you're saying, it was right. But what I was saying to Jay Gold as well, that even though you said that some of the youth them don't respect certain man because they got this 9 to 5, guess what? Some of these man who got these 9 to 5, they had to change their lives because they went through the gritty. And some of these man themselves, you with me, I've got their own stories to tell. You with me? And also some of these man themselves are certain man dads or moms. You with me? So I hear what Jay God was saying, but you see in this thing here, this shit called real recognize real. And we have to understand this thing. You with me? Real niggas and real niggeresses do real things. You with me? So we can't be watching our children and our younger generation where we've been there and done that ourselves and think, yeah, because I'm alright in my 9 to 5 that I'm okay. Like we said, we can't get caught up in the matrix. We have to obviously break that matrix and shake everything around because it's not nice. So even if I've got my job, you with me, I have to show the youth them, yo, try and get me come out of it some way, somehow. You get me, like I was trying to say to Jay. Boom, some of these men obviously might have money or might not have money, but at the same time steer the youth them in a right way because some of the youth them have got money. Sometimes it's not, money's not an issue, but they don't know what to do with it. You with me? So sometimes a little guidance, a little wisdom, you get me, you can save a man 5 years, 1 year, 2 years, where obviously in the sense of they didn't have to feel it so long. You with me? They had a chance, a head start to obviously, because you planted that seed or you showed them a better way or you took them out and steered them into this way and say, you know what, you'll invest in this or do this or do that or put some Peter, whatever, and start your own thing. You know, allow all that gangbanging, all that foolishness. Yo, you know what, actually, yo, boom, how come you don't like my man? And more time, man don't like each other because it's pettiness. But if man sat down and reasoned with a man probably would all like each other because, you with me? The only reason why man don't like each other because man are from different ends.
You haven't took that time to kind of...
And you haven't took that time because obviously we've been dysfunctional and disconnected from each other. You with me? So sometimes it just takes the elders now to say, yo, boom, let's all mingle, let's all come together. You with me? Why are we stopping each other? And that's what I was saying, that in the sense of, wait there, even though they got these 9 to 5 and they say that some of these youths might not respect them, wait there, don't you respect yourself? I thought you was a general in your time. You get me? What happened to that? You with me? So all these men what are so-called generals or ex-badman or ex-bat sort of man got their little status and name, they need to come back because their youths or other youths used to follow you. You was their role models, you was their idol because you had this big car or you were doing this or you was on this lifestyle. You with me? I.e. myself, I used to go on certain things and certain youths might have followed me or certain youths might have followed you or certain man might have followed this man, but at the same time, it's what we do. we have to regroup and come back and show them a way. You with me? Whatever way it is, if it's through the food, if it's through the music, or if it's through business, whatever way, we have to come back and share our talents and give the youth them something. You with me? Salutes to man like Killer. You with me? In the hearts. You with me? Huh? Man like Killer, them man there, yo, my elders, my generals. You with me? Ruddy soldiers, and obviously we look up to them, and I forever salute them, man, all day, every day, because them man don't change, or them man don't forget the way, but they got wisdom and sense to say, you know what, I'm a dad now. So as I'm a dad now, I don't want I got the good sons or daughters, I don't want my son and daughter to follow up my badness or go through my trials and tribulation. So now he has to be a role model. He's got a little boxing thing and things like that, and promotes it for the youths. If you want to go somewhere to obviously release your energy, or you with me, channel your energy or your skill, because you might have a passion for that. You with me, fighting or whatever. Instead of going fighting people on the roads and getting locked up or going to prison or whatever, use your skill then, innit? Teach people, you with me, and it comes with discipline, it comes with honor, you with me? So this is what we need to do, whatever it is. If it's football, shout out Fabs again, he comes and teaches the youths. You with me? Whatever a person's got to do, you got to come and bring that to the table. You with me? And like I said, we are the streets. So why does it take us man to do things, which is good? Because obviously we're playing our role in position, but there's a lot of people need to play their role in position too, and also help us, and also help the children too. You get me, around them. So it's a holistic kind of thing. It takes the village to raise everyone, not just me or you or you. It takes all of us.
We're still here. Obviously, if you're still here, you've got a job to do. There's a job for you to do in it. And if you've got a talent, if you've got something you can do or build on, then you have to give that, because we're still here. We've still got life. We can still do things. We can speak. We can teach. You understand? Our people, we can still do that.
Still be role models, but in a positive light.
Exactly that. So there's a reason why everyone's got their thing, what they're doing now. You understand? So we have to kind of follow that on, not stop and say, yeah, I've done what I need to do. No, you can teach someone else to do that, or you can giving advice to people. It costs nothing. It doesn't cost anything at all. You understand? Obviously, everyone's got to eat. Everyone's got to make money to survive and live. But at the end of the day, for me, I don't mind giving anyone advice. I don't mind speaking if someone asks me a question, or even if someone doesn't ask me a question, I would still, for instance, if I'm in the gym and I see someone doing something what it doesn't look right, or if I know that he could injure himself, I'm going to tell him. I'm not going to sit there and watch him say, oh look, he's going to, it doesn't matter.
That's also because personal trainer.
That's just me as well, and obviously I'm a personal trainer, so it all kind of comes hand in hand. So I will always try to help someone, even if you don't give me 2 pence, I will still do it, because that's just what it is. I'm here to do that. Otherwise, if I wasn't here to do that, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Each one help one.
There you go. So if I can pass that knowledge on, if I've researched and I found certain things out, I'm going to pass it on and carry it on. Just like with, like you mentioned before, Dr. Sedi. I researched him, his vegan food, alkaline diet, things what to eat, things what not to eat, things what they're putting in the system for us to kill us off, refined sugar, starch, you understand? Salt, certain things, the salts, the seasonings and all these type of things. These are the things what I would pass on to people, because I can, you understand? So that is the greatest, I think that's probably one of my greatest gifts, that I can learn something and pass it on. So if you can keep on learning, you can keep on giving knowledge to other people. And that's one thing we wasn't drilled enough, I don't think, as youngsters. We wasn't drilled, learn this, learn that, because like we know, knowledge is power. And our parents used to always constantly talk about school, and I wish I went back to school. It was like, what are we talking about school? You understand? But I would love to go back to school now. Not just because of obviously it's school, but certain things I would take out of it, what I didn't take out of when I was at school. You understand? So knowledge is power. Always knowledge is power. And if you can learn something, learn a trade or whatever it is, pass it on to your people. Pass it on to the youngster generation. It doesn't even have to be young generation. It could be someone the same age as you, what don't know it. Pass it on. Because we're still here, we still have life, we can still talk. There's people 10 times worse off than us, what can't even speak, can't even walk. So we have to, if you can do these things and you can learn and pass it on, do it. Always.
Always, definitely. Yeah, man. So, yeah, we're here, like I says, Kingdom Spot. more lions, more lioness, street education. We're just trying to promote love and unity. This ain't just for myself, this ain't just for Sheridan, this ain't just for the man behind the camera, Teco. This is for the world. This is for everyone. This is for the family tree. You get me? Oneness is the key. We have to wise up to rise up and live together in harmony. And each one just teaching each other and lifting and supporting each other and educating the youth to give them a better pathway. You get me? Paving the way for them. So, like I said, respect for coming out as well.
Definitely, anytime, man, anytime.
You know, and anybody out there who wants to get involved in street education and got a skill, a trade, or just something just to share and pass on to the next generation, because this is the new gang what we're trying to build. You with me? But our gang is called a family gang, fam gang, and our gang is guiding a new generation. Because that's what it is. We have to guide a new generation. You with me? And set the thing straight. Because oneness is the key, and it's divide and conquer right about now. So we shouldn't care about what hood you come from, what city you come from, what country you come from, because all around the world we're going through the same thing. You with me? We're being suppressed, and right about now we're being led in the wrong direction by the media, by the music, the food, like what we've just touched on, and all these things physically, mentally and spiritually has made us lose the way. So right about now we're just regrouping and finding the truth and finding the way and just saying, yeah, love, oneness, one order. So like I says, respect to the street education family. You don't know, you with me? Support, share, like, yeah, and subscribe, yeah? Don't know, more life forever, you with me? More unity, more love is key, you with me? Equally more powerful us as a family tree, yeah? Salutes to everybody what's watching, yeah? Love, manners, yeah? Street education.
Meet Dr. Noon S. Amun-Ra. He only eats one vegan meal a day. That's right, he only eats 1 hour a day, proving if you eat healthy, you will not lose muscle or lack energy. He even set a world record in deadlifting. But his goal is not bodybuilding or strength. It's anti-aging, longevity, and the highest quality of health and life. We're not telling people to eat only one meal a day, but we are here to show you what's possible with intermittent fasting, and that we do not have to eat animal products in order to thrive. Only a handful of people on this planet have the determination to live this way, but it's amazing what happens when we do. Mankind is not supposed to have the health problems it does, and what we call aging is not normal. Let the wise words of this master teach, enlighten, and inspire you.
Get some more.